right, what is going on today, chat? What is going on? We have a pretty big day today. We have a PSA submission that we're finally got back. We submitted this, I believe, in March or it's like March or April, something like that. Jesus, welcome. Osito, welcome. Anto, welcome. Jimmy's dad, thanks for the likes. All right. Just getting some stuff prepared here. We got a lot of stuff from a submission that the pretty crazy part is that I submitted this right before we do have a grade reveal. We got this that we're going to be going over today. Yeah, super pumped about it. This has a bunch of stuff that basically skyrocketed in price over the last like month or so. So that's kind of cool. So we have some Evolving Skies in here. We have some Sun and Moon in here. We have some stuff that I've gone and cleaned through some cleaning streams. We also have, I think one was in here from Betty's submission. So Betty, for context, I've kind of highlighted it a little bit in some grade review streams. She is helping me figure out if offering a cleaning, grading kind of service for the community is worth the effort and kind of gauging to see if that's what you guys would want to do to like submit your cards for me to clean on stream and assess and grade and basically do. So she's essentially my guinea pig. So in this submission, she had a Lugia V alt art from Silver Tempest and then a Korean Moonbryon. Unfortunately, the Moonbryon was in a different submission. But regardless, at least we have one of them. So we're not gonna see the Moonbryon today, but we're gonna see a bunch of other stuff. I have another box behind me. So this one I think was 20. It was either 26. There's one more box that had some stuff in it. So we're gonna do the little bit of reveal. Yeah, it's pretty much like Christmas for myself, exactly. And that's what's kind of fun, kind of showing it off. So what we're hoping is that we don't get this. So this is gonna be kind of like the good luck charm. We don't want threes. We don't want Erica's Ivysaurs. We want good old fashioned PSA 9s or 10s. So I got the gloves on today. Normally I don't wear gloves, but what I like to do is when I get these out, I put them into the sleeve. So when I sell them, they don't have all fingerprints on stuff like that. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So we're going to see Nuka. We are definitely going to see some. So there's been some pretty crazy submissions in here. Some from the Evolving Skies before the price went up like crazy. So we're going to see. So it's a bunch of like Sun and Moon. Mango, thanks so much for the follow. So first off, we got the Dragonite GX Rainbow. Got the promo. Do I know grades yet? No, we're literally discovering it. It took all my willpower not to look at this. So I am seeing it as much as you guys are. So we're going to do kind of a quick review. So if you guys have done like grade reviews before, we'll kind of do a quick assessment. I'm not going to, because just based off of my table space, I'm not going to put it under the microscope, but we'll kind of look again, centering on this stuff. A lot, especially for these area, is very hard because of that line on the right on the border. But there is the front. And then there is the back. So I think I assessed this one possibly as a PSA 9, I believe. Because I kind of keep track of... And let me turn on this light real quick. Hopefully it doesn't. So I believe I assessed this as a 9. So kind of just taking, there's some stuff. Again, that's why I kind of like to wear gloves now when I do open grades. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, the full art Dragonite GX promo in 3, 2, 1. Gem Mint 10, baby. Look at that. Very nice. We always take those 10s. Very, very good. So Dragonite GX. So then we just, so for me, I just take, they don't get stuck together. I'm going to be, at the end of this, I'm not going to put you guys to sleep because you guys want to just see the opening. But what I'll do is I'll put these in my inventory and get these ready to sell. So if you guys have been here before, I do have an online store that I'm going to slowly start putting stuff back into because my in-person showings has been kind of dying down a little bit. Hopefully it'll pick up in September of October. But we are going to have some of this stuff go to my online store, galaxiagamingtcg.com. Hopefully have some of this stuff full on June. So the Erica's Ivysaur Good Luck Charm, so far so good. So starting off with a 10. All right, next up, what do we got? It's kind of hard because I really want to try to not, because once it gets a little bit lower, we'll see. Poke, thanks so much for the follow. That's what I'm working on, I'm working on so that you guys can submit through me. So that's what Betty, one of the moderators in here, has been helping me try to kind of work some stuff out. So next up, we got the Rainbow Rare Glaceon VMAX from Evolving Skies. So let us take a look. And turn back on. Might as well just turn this light on again. So again, really the thing that we're trying to measure for centering is these little white spots on the left and the right, because obviously there's none up in the top part. But let's take a quick look. So normally for modern, if I feel like it has a decent chance to getting a 10, then I just kind of submit it, because most of what we have for modern is if it's a 9, it pretty much is a near mint. So let's see, those corners looking good. Edge is looking really good. Trying to, I have lights all over the place, so apologies for the glare. But again, I am experiencing this opening as much as you guys are. I honestly have no idea what these are gonna get. So let's take a look. The Glaceon VMAX Rainbow Rare from Evolving Skies. Again, Evolving Skies going absolutely insane. So let's do 3, 2, 1. Another Gem Mint 10. Look at that, chat. So far, so good. Again, the centering on this was really good, especially on the front. I did not poke. I've been literally sitting on this since yesterday, and the boxes have just been sitting there, and it took everything in my power not to open them. So, Rocky, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So, very nice Glaceon VMAX there. So we will take that. So let me sleeve this bad boy up. Do they grade harder on modern or vintage? I guess it just depends. Apple Juice. I mean, you've obviously been here. It's really hard for me to know if they grade harder or easier, because I just try to be as, as strict as I possibly can with my grading, or like with my assessments rather. But yeah, really nice 10. So 2 for 2, chat. So far, so good. Let me get rid of this. Because I don't know if you guys have cats, but my cat absolutely loves like plastic like this. I know, Anto. It's kind of tough. It's like, oh, like we're just gonna have like 5 different spots to where you could kind of spoil the grade, if you're not paying attention. So I've definitely have had that happen to me, for sure. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna throw away the choking hazard for my cat. So, do you ever grade with CGC? Nicholas, personally, I don't. Because I've kind of just tried perfecting, my accuracy, quote unquote, for PSA. So the more I kind of stick with PSA, the better, you know, overall my accuracy kind of gets. So, oop, make sure I'm not punching my... Ooh, here's another nice one. The Moltres Zapdos Articuno Tag Team Rainbow Rare. So super clean. Always a big fan. Out of the 3 legendary birds, Zapdos was always my favorite. Yes, PSA holds their value historically a little bit more than BGS or CGC. But only time will tell. The more data points and the more sales CGC and BGS get, the more they establish in the market, and it's really up to us as the consumer to determine the value for sure. But yeah, I remember bringing Zapdos literally everywhere on the playground, and hopefully I just didn't sneak the grade. But we'll see. So really the only thing, that might just be part of the foiling, and it might result in a lower grade, but we'll see, is that right there, because that's part of the foil pattern. You kind of see right here. So that might take away from the surface, but we'll only way to find out, right? So, but the real big thing that I think I saw on this is really just this this silver bottom is way thicker than that top. So that'll probably bring us down to a 9 would be my guess. But let's take a look. The corners are really nice though. But so far so good. So let's take a look, chat. So my guess is probably the 9, but... And I always love, too, because, like, the name is so long. It's like Moltres Zipdis. All right, so let's see what my Moltres Zipdis and Articuno GX get. Another Gem Mint 10. Look at that, chat. Look at that. I honestly thought that it would get the... I honestly thought it was going to get the 9. Only because that this is a little bit off. But they might... I don't know. I might have to... Again, that's what's kind of nice about submissions like this, because I would think that would get a 9, because of that down below. But who knows? They might not. They might not see it. They might not. I'm not too sure. But yes, Lalo. So for PSA specifically, it's within 60-40 or between 50-50 and 60-40 in terms of centering. Yes. I think the back, if I'm not mistaken, is 70-30. I could be wrong, though. These are Pokemon cards, Chief. You are definitely correct. But yeah, so far 3 for 3. So I definitely cannot complain. So far, for those of you who are here, we've had the Moltres Zapdos Articuno as a 10, the Glaceon VMAX as a 10, and the Dragonite GX promo as a 10. So, Hayden, thanks so much for the follow. And for those who have followed and I missed it, I apologize. I definitely appreciate the love and support. And let me throw away the thing that will make my cat sick. So hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday. I appreciate you guys joining me for... I'm always a big fan of just having some fun with PSA returns. And I think we have one more until I have to kind of reorganize how these are laid out, because I don't want to spoil anything. So probably one more, and then I'll have to make the stack fall down. Brad and Xavi, thanks so much for the follow. All right. So these ones I think were more of just, I wanted to submit them just to submit them. I know one of them had a corner ding. But I just kind of, honestly, for me, this was more, so I had the Eevee, Umbreon, and Espeon, as well as the Neo from, it was the Neo Discovery, that promo binder. So this is, to be honest, is more for my personal collection, just because I just like the art. So how much does it degrade any card? It depends, Alan. It depends on how much. So like, for example, these ones, these don't really cost a lot. So this one, I believe, was 15 per card for me. But do I have sticky note to use? I did, I believe. But so far it's okay. My big fat thumb is doing the job. But yeah, so the Eevee, Umbreon, Espeon, and the NEO is going to be all for my personal collection. So I just submitted them. just to get them slabbed just for my office, honestly. I did, yeah, but they all got crumpled or crumpled. So, but it's okay. Honestly, I'd probably even just do this. But let's see. Let's see. Do I have? Yes, I do. Always do this. There we go. How's that, chat? A little bit better? I use a business card. Okay. So, let's take a look. So, it is definitely a bit off-center, for sure. So, it's a bit off-center. So, I'd say from the right to the left, it's a little bit thicker on that right side than it is on the left. As well as the bottom is a bit thicker than the top. So, let's flip it on over. And this one's a rattler, too. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But we got a rattler. -1. I think someone did a test where they like rattled a card for like an hour or something. But I think it doesn't like, because I think someone literally did one for like an hour. And it didn't, and it could, but let's see. So that might be on the card. That's what's kind of nice about having gloves, is kind of wipe some stuff off. That's what it was, Junior. Thank you. But aside from that, it's a lot of dust. I think that's it. So I really think the biggest thing holding this card back is honestly probably just the centering on the front. But let's take a look. So this was from a promo collection. All the way back from 2000. So let's take a look. The Eevee promo. 3, 2, 1. The Mint 9. I'll take it. Mint 9 for the Eevee. Yeah, right there too. Right where the kind of the tip of my card is. Right there. That's a good good eye, Chief. Good eye. So depending on card, yes, it can, Alan. So like, for example, if I had I don't know, let's say that I had a Charizard Delta species, like Gold Star. That card is extremely expensive. So I would have to pay even probably, I don't know, probably anywhere, depending on the condition, anywhere from $75 to get it graded to maybe even $200. It all depends on, but these, for example, you know, I don't know how much this is on top of my head, but I know this isn't like $1,000 or anything. It's probably only $20 or something, 20 or $30. But Alex, thanks so much for liking or following the live, not liking the live. Appreciate it. But yeah, it can definitely vary for sure. Okay. I feel like, yes, the higher the price of the card that you're about to grade, because you have to have what's called a declared value. And if the declared value is higher, then it's going to cost you more to get said card graded. Alan, thanks so much for the follow. But yeah, so that's what's kind of nice about this submission. It's you know, its declared value is only $15. Well, I shouldn't say only, but it's roughly $15 a card. So it's not too bad. Okay, so I think we got, there we go. So the stack isn't falling over yet. So far, so good. Ooh, so okay, here we go, chat. So this card I submitted for grading before the crazy spike. So the Dragonite V from Evolving Skies. So this card has been going insane in price. Like a lot of the Evolving Skies stuff has just been absolutely crazy. This I submitted this, I believe, in March, mid-March, something like that. But let's take a look. Nice, Justin. Well, hopefully the vibes keep going. So the big thing, right, is the centering. And I believe, Bendo, thanks so much for the follow. Most likely Toxic. Definitely check out my website. I'm going to be hopefully stocking up the whole month of June, probably even in July. Because I'm not going into any in-person shows anytime soon. My online store should be starting to get stocked. So let's see. So I think the only thing that I see, I don't know if that's on. It's kind of hard. It's so like in this angle you can't really tell, but this might be something. Just to be completely transparent and not to deflate, that might be something on that edge there, but I could be wrong. So then we got the front. Centering looks good. Let's take a look at the back. Do I know anywhere to buy lots of copies of cheaper trainer cards? I mean, probably TCG Player is probably the best one. Or corners look good. It's a hair, I believe. Man, AJ. Maybe I should put a Family Guy episode below. The suspense. Toxic, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Cool. Yeah, you guys, really the only thing that I saw was just probably on that side, but we'll see. All right, so the Dragonite V full art. Let's see. I'm probably thinking probably a 9, but we'll take a look. 3, 2, 1. Gem Mint 10. Look at that. Gem Mint 10 on the Dragonite. At first glance, I thought that right here probably a little bit better to see. Right here, I thought was something, but I will take the Gem Mint 10 on the Dragonite V. That's for sure. So super nice card. Again, really nice to get that in before the crazy spike. That's for sure. I probably will look at prices after AJ. If you think you're getting put to sleep now, you're gonna really get put to sleep if I start to look up prices on the live. But what's my personal favorite card in the collection? I would probably say probably the birthday Pikachu, not from Celebrations, but like the OG. It's only a PSA 8, but that card like really had a lot of like sentimental value to me growing up. So it's not worth a whole lot, but that's my personal favorite, to be honest. Tony, thanks so much for following the live. Appreciate it. And Matthew, thanks so much for following the live. Okay. So trying to get to where, okay, so this should hopefully, there we go. We have to start folding them down before I, and Mike, thanks so much for the follow. Okay, so this is a continuation of the promos from the Neo Discovery set. Phil, thanks so much for the follow. Nice, Tony. Well, we have grade review every Wednesday, so right off the bat, this one I know is not going to get a 10 or even a 9. I would probably say we're even looking at 8 or a 7 because of this. But again, this is more for my personal collection. But we do a grade review every Wednesday for free. That you can submit your cards in our Discord for us to review, and it's definitely off center from top down. So yeah, if you want to submit your cards before you actually pay to get them graded, we have a Discord that we do grade reviews live every Wednesday from 7 to 10 Eastern. And both myself and the community assess your cards, and we'll give our opinion on what they would get. So we got the little nick there, little off center from the top to the bottom. So let's flip it over. And I think, Betty, if you don't mind, or if someone's in here, if you don't mind pinning where they can find that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Tuck, thanks so much for following. Appreciate it. And Nathan, thanks so much for the follow. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a 10 or a 9, that's for sure. And there's also a giveaway going on too. So if you want your cards assessed for free, we're going to be giving away a PSA 8 off-center grade Jigglypuff just for submitting. Just a pin where people can find like how to get to the Discord for grade review. Yeah, so I'm probably thinking that this one's probably going to get a 7 because of that nick and a little bit of the off-center, but I'm doing good, Rabbit. How are you? All right, so this one, we shall see. We'll see if we can do a little bit better on the grade, but I'm thinking 7. So unknown, the letter N. 3, 2, 1. 4. Holy. There we go. So we got good thing this is from my personal collection, because that is a woof. Maybe you can join the Ivysaur with the 3 and the 3. But we needed some for sure. We needed the 4 for sure. Get us off. I mean, for having the Gem Min 10 Dragonite, I think that's fair. My guess is probably all this right here, to be honest. Or maybe not. Maybe that was, I don't know. It was probably, honestly, when a grade gets this low, especially with like this Erica's Ivysaur, there's probably a dent or some like bump or something on the surface. But again, I just submitted them just for the laughs. So the NEO and then the Eevee, Umbreon, Espeon, I just submitted for my personal collection. They're actually going to go in my office. So, but it's probably surface somewhere. But yes, definitely, someone said it good. Definitely a humbling moment right there. That's for sure. Let's see. Have to look at cards on the side usually. Yeah, for sure. Caveman, we had one vintage, the Eevee promo that graded a 9. I just knew that was not going to be anything crazy. But, you know, when it's slabbed, I have a hard time because you can't actually see the surface, but that's what I'm saying. It can. I mean, we just saw it here, and then we've seen it before with this Erica's Ivysaur. I know that there's like a bend or something like that you can't see, but yes, that's what these are, Tracy. These were $15 a card. How do you clean the cards before sending them in? So there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. Probably at the end of looking at this, if we don't go over, I'll probably show there's some cards that I have here on the side that I have to clean. So if you want to stick around, but there's definitely different techniques that you can do. But primarily, like a big one is just to look at like a Q-tip and distilled water is probably the easiest way. But anyway, all right, unknown E. So we got the N, and now we're going after the E. So a little whitening there on that top right-hand corner. Let's take a look. Mike, for me, I just always try to keep track of, you know, if I think a card is going to get a certain grade, I keep track, and, you know, if it gets it, cool. Like my accuracy, it's almost like a batting average. But if it's wrong, then I kind of adjust. So, I mean, for me, with the exception of a few, like the Erica's Ivysaur in the background, I don't know. I personally, because I just kind of do the due diligence up front, to where if a grade is like above or below, I don't get, it's like, it's understandable kind of thing. But the main thing for this one is a little probably off center from the top to the bottom, and then that little white dot in that top corner. So let's flip it over. All right, so corners look good. It's a little bit off, I think, from the right to the left, just at quick glance. Corners look good though. Who knows? Maybe this might be good a 4-2. Now I'm like gun shy. Right heavy on the front. It's more left heavy than it's a little thicker on this left side than it is on the right. But I don't know. It's really just the centering and that white dot on that corner. So let's take a look. So the unknown E. So we just got done with N, and now we are on the E. So let's take a look. Could you imagine? I just want 4, 3, and 2. There you go, Rock. That's so funny. There you go. There's the 3 that we're looking for. So now I really want Just for the jokes. If the O does not get a 2, I'm gonna be pissed. I really want the O to get a 2. Damn, that is so funny. Who knows? That's like a Where's Waldo? Find the dent, guys. Where's Waldo? Find the dent. It is sequential, yeah. So it's funny because like we got the 96 4, 95 3. Hey, Pink, how's it going? Nice to see you. We're just currently looking at the stuff from my personal collection, doing far worse than stuff I'm going to be selling. So, so we had the N as a 4, and then an E. Well, maybe this is Destiny, right? Because the E, so this is E3, right? So the E is a backwards 3, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah, who knows, Mike? Sometimes when you think about it too hard, it just your brain just explodes. I just tend not to think about it. But who knows? Now I'm hoping this one's the O. Let's see. It is the O. Okay. So chat, honestly, I want this to be a 2. I doubt it, but I want it to be a 2. Yeah, the PSA 3 Erica's Ivysaur back there. All right. So at this point, chat, I want this to be a 2. So all right. So we got a little bit of whitening. So currently, what that means is with this, if there's a little bit of whitening, it's immediate 4 or lower. But we're gonna take a look. Edges look good. Corners look good. Yeah, C-Rock, just say it's a 2 and then it'll come to fruition. You called the 3, just keep saying it's going to be... That's what I want. I want everyone in the chat just to say this is a 2, because that's what I really want. Manifest the 2 for me. That's what I really want. Look at that guy. He wants it. He wants it to be the 2. Civic, you're not doing it right. Black Label does not say 2. See, there's another one. So we have 2 whitenings. One in the front and one in the back. That makes it a 2, right? Come on. We want the 2. This is the only time you'll ever hear me want a PSA 2. I'm letting you know that right now. You'll never hear those words utter from my lips ever again. So enjoy it. All right. Enough talk. Please, 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 please. Yeah, could you imagine, Brad? It just gets the 1 for no reason. Okay. All right. Will this get the 2 to continue the vibes? Mint 9? Chat, what is that about? Look at this. Look at this. So we got the N. We got the N for 4, right? We got the E for... So E3, that's kind of sick, actually. I'm not going to lie. So now we have the Mint 9. So NEO 439. Wow. Look at that, chat. So cool. Oh yeah, someone is definitely having a good day, Pink. Good day, meaning that they didn't give me the grade that I wanted, which was a 2. I don't know. I mean, the $50 I slipped into the submission can only do so much, I guess. To where they didn't give me the 2. That's what I'm saying, Phil. They're probably like, who on earth is submitting unknown N and E? Like, this is the stupidest card. Why would anyone get this graded? And then the other guy's like, well, come on, guys. Look how cute unknown O looks. Like, you can't, the unknowns can't be that bad. Yeah, controlling the population. Yeah, they're pop controlling the Japanese unknown E market for sure. So you guys have seen it here first. If you guys notice the prices of unknown N and unknown E skyrocket, you know that they're getting pop controlled. There's too many unknown E's. They're catching up with Charizard from base set. It needs to be stopped. It needs to be controlled for sure. Yeah, it was the intern that was grading the first two. Untote. Ooh, okay, here we go. All right, so now that we're off the meme train for a second, this one's nice. The Umbreon GX Shiny from the Sun and Moon era. Super nice. All right, so let's take a quick peek. So now we're out of the meme territory. So let's look. That corner looks good. That left corner looks good. So these ones were actually ones that I submitted more seriously. So I believe I assessed this as a 9 so far. Because based off of what we saw in that Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, the centering looks pretty good. But again, that it was really just the... So that was honestly one thing I really wanted to kind of keep track of. Because I saw that on the Moltres too. So that little black dot kind of appearing right here, that's actually on the foil. Because if I turn it, you kind of see it kind of disappear. So the big question that I'm really curious about is whether or not they see that as a surface issue or not. But we will take a look. So let's see. Yeah, so far the corners are really nice. At first glance, centering looks pretty good. Corners look good. So let's take a look. I'm hoping at least a 9 for the Umbreon Full Art from Hidden Fates. The GX. So let's take a look. In 3, 2, 1. The Gem Mint 10. Look at that, chat. Gem Mint 10 Umbreon GX Shiny from Hidden Fates. That is nice. That is a super nice Umbreon. So, that's what we like to see. It's an error card. It's an error because it wasn't the 2 that I wanted. That's why it's an error. So it's kind of cool that we're kind of doing a like an in real life grade review here, which is kind of fun. And then for those of you who are new here, first, welcome. Thank you for stopping by and watching a little bit of a fun grade reveal. I have not looked at these myself, so that's what's kind of fun about it. It took a lot of willpower to not look. I'm not going to lie to you. But every Wednesday, so tomorrow, I do what's called grade review, and Betty, one of the moderators, pinned it. As I review community members' cards for free on our Discord. So all you got to do is just join that. There should be a pin video that has the thumbnail that says grade review and how to. It's about a 45-second video, and it'll teach you how to join the Discord, what channel to submit. So if you are curious about what your cards would get graded for free, definitely check that out. We stream every Wednesday from 7 to 10 Eastern. So definitely appreciate it. I am not the... Mike and Chief and User, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. There is no card limit, so you can submit as many as you want for free. It is a first come, first serve basis. However, if you do subscribe through the Discord subscriptions, you do have priority. So definitely check that out. And there is a giveaway currently. So if you submit your cards from now until, I think, June 16th or 19th, I can't remember, you can be entered in for a free PSA off-center grade of a first edition Jigglypuff from Jungle. So I definitely appreciate all the love, guys. It really does mean a lot. You guys are the best. All right. Espeon. From the same meme promo set. So the Eevee that we just got was a PSA 9. So we're going to see if this Espeon does any better. I don't really know. Like, honestly, like, at first glance backyard, I didn't really notice, to be honest. Dolan and Fez. But now that you mentioned it, I know that they were talking about it. So definitely off center. So if I kind of like look at it from here. A little bit thicker on this left side than it is on the right. But let's take a look. Not a lot of whitening from what I can tell. Maybe a little bit there. Kind of hard to say on stream, but a little bit right here. So edges look good. Surface looks good. Let's take a flip. It doesn't feel any different, backyard, to be honest. Does not feel any different. Edges and corners look good. Maybe a little bit something right there. I'm not too sure. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can focus here. I don't think that's a bend. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, you like that, backyard? Triforce, thanks for the follow. I do a bunch of other stuff, Kronos. Primarily Pokemon specific, but I like to kind of offer, like I do cleaning, like I clean cards, kind of teach you guys how to submit cards to PSA specifically, or just kind of give you what I look for. I do this as a small business. I have some vendor POV videos. I got a bunch of stuff. But definitely check out the Discord. We have a bunch of stuff in there too. All right, so Japanese promo Espeon. Let's take a look. PSA 8. Not bad. I'll take that for sure. Just for the centering alone, I'll definitely take that, because that's where I saw most of probably what was going to happen. You can kind of even, let me turn off this light. It's a little bit easier to see the centering. So it's a little bit thicker on that left side, but still really nice. Super clean. Jam, thanks so much for the follow. That's what I'm saying, Ken. Especially this card. I mean, if you guys just joined, we just got done through the unknown NEO, that would spell Neo, from this promo set. The N came back as a 4, the E came back as a 3, and then the O came back as a 9. So, and then someone said if we have any alt arts, we definitely have some alt arts. We just got done looking at, so the only one that really came out so far was this Dragonite V as a PSA 10. So that was a really big one, in addition to some rainbows that have come back as a 10. Yeah, so centering can, you know, if the centering score impacts it enough, it can bring it down to a 9 or even an 8. And I feel like with some slight whitening that we saw on that card as well, the sum of the 4 scores, so the big 4 are centering, corners, edges, and surface. So each one is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, and then those scores are added together. Ooh, this one, you guys can't, you might be able to see it right here, but this is the one Yu-Gi-Oh card that I submitted into the grade review. And this again is from a personal collection, or a personal collection ad. So this one was one of those things that's like, I don't really care, because this was from a collection. But the Dark Magician of Chaos, first edition Invasion of Chaos. I remember pulling, well, this wasn't my personal one specifically, but I always loved this card. I remember pulling it as a kid way back in the day. And this one was super cool. This one was one of my buddies who's super into Yu-Gi-Oh! He was very generous enough for me to buy some of his collection. And I said, hey, if I buy this from you, do you want me to submit it? And he's like, absolutely. So we are going to see. I'm thinking, because there was some problems with it, especially on the corners. So I think we assessed this as a 6 in person, but we're going to take a look. But I love, this card is absolutely amazing. We've submitted very little Yu-Gi-Oh on this channel. I think the few other ones was a Blue Eyes White Dragon from Ghost from the Past. But super nice card. The Dark Magician of Chaos. But yeah, it's kind of hard to see on stream, but it's definitely loved for sure. We'll kind of see more on the back, but the holo was super clean. That was what really made me, is like, man, I just want to kind of take the risk to grade it and just kind of see. But you can kind of see, like, it was definitely in a lot of sleeves, right? So you can kind of see the back is a little bit worn, but super nice. Again, this is more for my personal collection, so I'm not really looking for a 10, because we got that corner right there. No, they do not. Yeah, so this card is not in a sleeve. I mean, it's in the obviously the case, but it's not actually sleeved inside of the case. Yeah, we had a little bit of a corner there. So I'm probably thinking that this was a 6 when we assessed it, and we also see one right there as well in that bottom right-hand corner. But let's take a look. I hope you guys are right. I hope a 7 would be cool, but I think we assessed this as a 6. So the Dark Magician of Chaos from Evasion of Chaos, first edition. This card's crazy. So let's see. 3, 2, 1. PSA 8. That is wild. I'll take it, though. I did not think that would get an 8. But that's sick. Such amazing card. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate it, Crystal. Appreciate the good vibes. Appreciate the W's. Appreciate the fire, because I did not think this would get an 8. Yeah, that's probably a good point, Skylar. Because again, I don't really grade Yu-Gi-Oh often, like especially vintage Yu-Gi-Oh. So this is a good example, and this kind of goes for any of you guys too, whether it's Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or any cards that you grade. The more you grade a certain set or type of card, just the better you get at them. So this is a good example for me. Like if I thought this was going to be a 6 because of all this damage on the back, this helps me learn, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. So it kind of helps me improve for grading in the future for Yu-Gi-Oh. So then that allows me, if I see cards like this in the wild, like at a local game store or a card shop, gives me a little bit more confidence to buy more, to get graded, to just get a little bit better each time. But man, right, Rock? Man, I'm super happy about that grade. The PSA 8 Dark Magician of Chaos. Yeah, that was the only card game I remember learning as a kid to actually play. Not correctly in the beginning. I think I thought that you could just fuse two monsters together willy-nilly. And kind of like overlay them. And then I had one of my friend's parents yell at me for cheating in a game or something crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Antonio, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. All right. So, next up. Let's see what we got. Ooh, so this one's actually really interesting. So, if anyone was here when I saw these, so for context, I know I'm kind of yapping, whatever, all Galaxy Gaming yapping again. Well, hold on. Give me a second. So, this one in particular is very interesting because this came amongst a bunch of other Shadowless cards, was donated to a humane society that a bunch of old vintage cards was about to be thrown in the trash. So this was almost like inches away from the trash. So what I'm going to do with this one, and I haven't told my friend who works at the Humane Society, is this one, all money that I make, whatever this is, because there's a bunch of other ones that I'm going to get graded, but this one specifically, all the proceeds for this are going to go to the Humane Society. Because they're basically wondering, like, you know, you said you're going to give me some money or whatever. They haven't said that, but they're probably thinking it. But when I sell this, or when I do sell this, is all it's going to go to the cats and dogs from my local Humane Society. So this one I'm super pumped about, specifically. So let's take a look. So for the dogs and the cats, let's see what this Shadowless Unlimited Bulbasaur will get us. Glyza, thanks so much for the follow. So the corners look good. Surface was good. Again, I could not believe this is about to go in the trash, by the way. Got that. Real deal, thanks so much for the follow. Let's flip it over. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And then all the other cards that I'm going to get graded to that I got from this trash collection, the best ones I'm going to try to get graded, and then any sales that I make from them, I'm just going to donate to the Humane Society. So that's what I'm hoping. Backyard, my cat would not like any other animals in my house. She is a diva beyond belief. We go a little whitening there. But again, this is about to go into the trash, so we're going to see. Let's see what the Dumpster Bulbasaur Shadowless is going to get. So 3, 2, 1. Mint 9. Look at that, chat. A Mint 9 Shadowless Unlimited Bulbasaur. Very nice. For a card that was about to go into the trash at a Humane Society that my friend rescued, like she rescues the dogs and the cats. So, again, when I when I offer to sell this, all the proceeds for this sale specifically are all going to get donated to the Humane Society. So super excited about that one. Super excited. From the same Humane Society that I got my little cat from. And for those of you who are on the Discord, you probably have seen my cat and some other animals that you guys have posted. And then I named my cat Faye, after Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop. And there's a helicopter now going above my head. So you're about to hear a very loud noise here shortly. I promise I am not in a war zone. I am next to a hospital. The Bulbasaur, the rescued Bulbasaur. It's kind of fitting because it kind of fits the anime theme, right? Because the Bulbasaur was in a kind of like a nursery. So, all right. I feel like right now, because Betty has a submission in here, and I have not gone to it yet, and I feel like she is just chomping at the bit to get there. All right, so again, another alt art. These have been going kind of crazy. Thomas, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, Crystal, Cowboy Bebop, all-time favorite anime. So Rayquaza VMAX. I also think this is an underrated card backyard for sure. So let's take a look. Corners look good. So this one is a little bit more of a serious submission. This one I thought was in really good shape. Let's see if that was a corner. No, might be. It might be. Might be something there on that bottom left. I don't know if it's just the lighting of it or not, but I can do a quick review after this, Crystal, for sure. Once I reveal this one, I can do a recap on what we're at. Pokemon Beast, thanks so much for the follow. That corner is good. So let's take a flip. So the back centering looks good too. That might be. So that's on the case. Right there. That's on the case. That's what's kind of nice about wearing gloves doing the submission, so I don't get fingerprints all over it. Let's see. It's another on the case, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So that right there too, that what I'm shining right here, that scratches on the case. So let's take a look. The Rayquaza VMAX. Looking good though. Looking good so far. So from Silver Tempest, Evolving Skies, a bunch of stuff getting crazy right now. So let's take a look. So the full art Rayquaza VMAX. Gem Mint 10. Look at that. That's what we like to see, chat. The PSA 10s for the Rayquaza VMAX. Thank you. So super nice. So we've been doing pretty good. So far, so good. Cannot complain. So, for review before I continue. So we had the Rayquaza VMAX as a 10. The Bulbasaur Shadowless as a 9. The Dark Magician of Chaos, one of my favorites from here so far, is a PSA 8. The Espeon PSA 8. The Umbreon GX Gem Mint 10. Very nice card. And then the meme unknowns PSA 9. Then we got the E3 Unknown E. And then we had I don't open Lorcana, unfortunately. We have the N. Dragonite V is the 10. Crazy card. That I graded this before it went insane. I know. I wanted that, Crystal. Eevee as the 9. And we had the Moltres Zapdos. We had this kind of like a rainbow section. So Gem Mint 10 on that one. The Glaceon VMAX as a 10. And we started with the Dragonite GX as a Gem Mint 10. So far so good. We've been doing really well. And for those of you who are wondering, I do a grade review stream where we kind of go and review. So these cards I've all reviewed myself. I've cleaned these cards. Everything that you've seen, I've cleaned, I've graded, I've assessed before I submitted them. We also do a free grade review for you as the community. So Betty, one of the moderators, pinned a link. So I have a pinned video on my channel called Grade Review and How To. So that's what it looks like in the front. If you watch that, it's about a 45-second video. It'll teach you everything you need to know about how to join the Discord, where to submit your cards for review, and the instructions. It's a completely free service that I like to offer to the community. So you can kind of get some insider knowledge on how I grade cards, how I clean cards, and it's completely free. So definitely appreciate all the love and support for everyone that's followed and liked and shared. If I missed you, I apologize, but I greatly appreciate all the love. You guys are awesome. So next up, we got the Garchomp V. One of the cards that was kind of sneaking up there in price as well. Kind of flying under the radar a little bit, so I was glad to submit this, but we shall see. Aaron, thanks so much for the follow. So let's take a look at the Garchomp V with the Cynthia. Corners look good. So that has a little bit of that same illusion that we saw on that Rayquaza VMAX that I thought was a bend. But it might just be how the case looks and how the reflection... Because I'm literally just looking at this through the phone. I'm not really looking at it like directly in person. But yeah, that very well centered. Let's take a look at the back. Corners look good. TikTok thinking I'm not live again. There we go. Primarily I just do Pokemon, Will. But I mean, I just looked at a Dark Magician of Chaos that I submitted. But got a little bit, nope. Lucky, thanks so much for the follow. But yeah, so far, so good. Let's take a look here. What's my favorite Scarlet set? My favorite Scarlet set probably would have to be... I don't know. Probably Temporal. My favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is Jolteon. But if I could not pick an evolution, it would be Victory Bell. So, alright. So let's see. Let's see what this Garchomp V would get. From Astral Radiance, full art. So let's take a look. In 3, 2, 1. Gem Mint 10. We've been doing good so far, chat. So far, so good on the 10s. Been really lucky so far. The grader that we had definitely got his nap in. Was able to get some ice cream, be able to not stay too late. William, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So yeah, it really, you know, with the whole grade review stuff, this is kind of what, you know, these are just kind of the techniques, you know, that I try to show off and try to educate as much as I can. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that what I do guarantees 10s or anything, but, you know, if you do your due diligence and you continue to learn and really know what to look for, you know, you can kind of, because there was definitely a lot of cards that I bought from this collection specifically that I did not grade, because I personally felt that they didn't meet that criteria. But so far so good. I cannot complain about the 10s. So that's why I always like doing the grade reviews on Wednesdays. Oh man. It's too much plastic. My cat's going to be all over it. How is the return time? So I submitted these cards, I believe it was like end of March, early April, and I got them back yesterday. I think what they're doing is if you submit and it shows like your estimated turnaround time, it said that this submission specifically wasn't going to get to me until like mid-July. So I don't know if they do that on purpose or not, but it wasn't too bad. Any advice for someone sending in for the first time grading with PSA? Advice. I would say just, there's more than enough videos out there that show like the whole process of how to submit. Really the big thing for me is just make sure, I mean, not to kind of self-promote again, but I do a grade review every Wednesday. So a lot of those skills that I try to teach every Wednesday, you should apply to your cards. Because if you submit a card that's going to get a 7 or a 6 or a 5, and you wanted to try to get a 10 or a 9, you want to really make sure you know what you're looking for before you submit. Because again, some of these cards are 15, 20, 30 bucks to submit. So if you're really going to spend that money, you really want to make sure that it's going to get the grade that you want. So definitely take good eye, measure your cards, make sure that there's no dirt or grime on them. That's kind of my really quick, my quick opinion. All right, Beedrill V. This card was going crazy in price, but I think it was because of like shill buys or market manipulation or something. Because this card like skyrocketed in price for no reason. This card is beautiful. I absolutely love this Beedrill. Don't get me wrong, but I submitted this before the crazy spike. So let's take a look. I don't know if that might just be that like inner V, but CG, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So let's take a look. Centering looks pretty good. That corner looks good. That corner looks good. Let's take a flip on the back. Corner looks good. That corner looks good. Oh yeah, this alt art is amazing. So let's see. That might just be... No, just how the camera looks. Because I'm really just looking at this through the phone. So sometimes it kind of like gets a little bit pixelated to where I think it's something and it's not. Alec, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, let's take a look. Beedrill V from Astral Radiance, full art. Super nice card. Let's take a look. Gem Mint 10. So far, so good, chat. Yeah, I mean, if people want to look at the certs, it's fine. Unfortunately, I do not have Subway Racer or Family Guy below, so if some people want it a little bit faster, then there you go. Doom, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I do have a rolling video in the background. I guess you can watch my mascot Eve kind of float there. But yeah, super clean card. Yeah, keep the generosity going. That's, if I want to keep getting super lucky and grateful for everything, I'm not complaining. Ryan and Sarah, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Do I buy Japanese slabs? I do. I do buy. For Pokemon, I pretty much buy almost everything for Pokemon. I don't really buy bulk. But for certain cards, like at a certain price point, I normally pay like up to 70%. Depending on what it is. All right. Betty, I feel like we're super close to your card. That's kind of where I'm at back. I mean, I try to show as much as what I do for grading cards and cleaning cards and assessing if they're worthy of submitting or not. But so next up we have the Espeon V. Probably out of the alt arts, this one's probably my favorite one, if I'm gonna be honest. Because because we have the Umbreon V, the Espeon V is by far probably my favorite one, to be honest. But all right, let's take a look. Corners look good. So far, so good. Oh, nice, Betty. I'll have to check that out. Oh, definitely, AJ. But such a clean card. Little ditto. I never noticed that. There, I'm even gonna cover the cert now. These guys are little spoilers. Let's see. This is from Evolving Skies. So centering looks good. Corners. That looks good. All right. Bam. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So let's see. The Espeon V full art from Evolving Skies. This stuff has been going crazy. So let's take a look. 3, 2, 1. Gem Mint 10. Look at that. I'm definitely not mad about it. That's for sure. Yes. Yeah, Lewis. So for those of you who are wondering how to, so I do grade reviews for free for the community. So if you join my Discord, so the best way to get to my Discord, I have a pinned video, the thumbnail that says grade review and how to. You give that a watch. It's about a 45-second video. It'll teach you how to submit your cards for grade review, how to join the Discord, what channel to submit, and more importantly, how to take pictures of your cards for submission. It's a completely free service. It is a first come, first serve basis. However, if you want to have it expedited, there is Discord subscriptions now that are active that will give you priority. But yeah, I not only do I review your card front and back or whatever pictures you provide, the community or stream will also assess what they think the card would get. So you kind of get both my opinion and chat's opinion as well. And the next one, episode 21, is actually tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So, but yeah, very, very nice. I personally, out of the evolutions for the alt arts, for the Vs, this one's probably my favorite one, to be honest. But yeah, totally free if you want to. Betty, one of the moderators, pinned some instructions on how to get there. And let's keep on keeping on. So I appreciate all the love and support, guys. It really does mean a lot. Okay, Betty, you are up next. It is time. So, for context, Betty, one of the moderators, has been trying to help me figure out a way that I can provide a cleaning and grading service for you guys. So there's some logistic stuff that I needed to test out, and this is one of the cards that she submitted to get graded. So this was one of two. The other one still hasn't come in yet because that one had to get submitted at a higher tier. So that one's still coming back. But yes, this is PSA, Al. So Betty, good vibes as always. Let's get into it. So corner looks good. Edge looks good. Camaro, thanks so much for the follow. Edge looks good. That corner looks good. That corner looks good. Surface looks good. Such a nice artwork. That corner looks good. That corner looks good. Let's see. Really the only thing that I can think of, but I hope that's not the case, is it may be a little off center from the left to the right, but it might be within. All right, are you ready, Betty? Drum roll from chat. Good vibes to Betty. This is her one of her submissions, so let's hope. Let's hope for Betty's sake. Groovy, thanks so much for the follow. The Lugia V4 from Silver Tempest. In 3, 2, 1. There you go, Betty. Congratulations. That is awesome. Congratulations. The Gem Mint 10 Lugia V. That is awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's super cool. Give it up for Betty, guys. That is awesome. Congratulations. Claps in the chat. Jose, thanks for the follow. Very well done. Super happy for you. And you're welcome. My unknowns took the heat. my unknowns were like, get down, Mr. President. Lugia V needs to get a better grade. So because of, because of the unknowns, your Lugia V got the good grade. Of course, Betty. Thank you for submitting it. You know, at the end of the day, anyone that uses like a middleman service, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of trust. So I appreciate you even trusting me doing it. So after the stream, I'll reach out to you for that one on how to get it back to you. Nick, thanks so much for following the live. Appreciate it. And we're not done yet, chat. We still got a lot to go. Ooh, here we go. Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. I can imagine, Betty. We've been waiting forever. And I told you too, like, oh yeah, the grades are ready, and you held strong. So Charizard V. Brilliant Stars kind of getting up there too. So the middleman service I'm trialing so far is for you guys to submit your cards to me. I go through the cleaning process. I make sure that I can get it as good as I can, and then I submit them through my collectors club membership, and submit your cards on your behalf. So I'm trying to figure out the logistics of it all. But Betty was one of my moderators who helped me kind of trial it. So corners look good. I do not. Well, if you're talking about card wax backyard, I do not use any card wax because PSA's CEO himself stated that any card wax or any chemicals used is considered an alteration, and altered cards cannot be graded. And so for me, I don't see it as a risk I'm willing to take as a business. So I pretty much do everything else besides use any wax or abrasion or anything like that. So yeah, so definitely stay tuned. I definitely, if you guys haven't already, join the Discord. More announcements and getting feedback on what you guys want to see in terms of services, like submitting cards to me to get cleaned and then submit on your behalf. All that information. I also have currently a survey going on in the Discord where you can win one of my T-shirts from my business to kind of weigh in on some up and coming projects that I got coming along. So I basically do everything for you guys. Like, so the more feedback you give me, the more likely it is for it to happen. So I appreciate the love. So it's pretty well centered. I was kind of yapping a little bit. Classic Galaxia yapping again, but I believe that was on the case. Let me take a look. That was not on the case. I want to say that I think, because I definitely would have cleaned that. I feel, so this is probably one of the few times where I think something got onto the card after I submitted it, because I definitely would have cleaned that off. I'll have to take a look at the scan, but we'll take, I'll probably say because of that, I'll probably get the 9, but we'll see. We shall see. So, the Charizard V from Billion Stars. 3, 2, 1. Gem and 10. All right, I'll take it. I will take it, I guess. I will take it. Charizard V, Gem and 10. Even though I feel like they had something on the back that definitely wasn't there when I submitted it. So I don't know what that is, but because that's definitely that I'm completely transparent. I'm not trying to blow smoke up anyone's derriere, but I definitely would have gotten rid of that during the process, and I most likely wasn't there. But yeah, it could be. That's a good question. Maybe it's like on the case, but on the back. So like if I cracked it open, it'd be in the inside part, maybe. But I do. Hey, I just don't see it on. That's why I said after stream, I'll have to take a look. But I don't want to pause stream to take a look right now. But yeah, Grader's dandruff. Maybe a little bit of that sprinkle that they put on that on my unknowns. But happy about that. You can't. I mean, Charizard Pit 10. You can't complain. But Yeah, so far so good. Yes, corners and surface definitely matter. So the big four grading criteria for any card is corners, centering, edges, and surface. But so far, so good. We got a nice little... So we got 2 more in this box, and we have 1 more box that still hasn't been opened yet. So we are going strong. So there's 2 more in this one. If I can get this plastic off. There we go. All right. Next up, Mew V from Fusion Strike. Super nice card. Always like this artwork too. Pringle, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So let's take a look. So Mew. Corner's good so far. Edges look good. Skillix, thanks so much for the follow. Corner looks good. That left edge looks good. Bottom left looks good. Bottom right looks good. So yeah, let's take a look. Ghastly saying right heavy. Let's take a look. Possibly. I kind of see where you're saying. A little bit heavier on that right side than the left. Might be within that range. Might be within that 60-40 range. Fingers crossed, but we'll see. But yeah, I definitely see what you're talking about, though. So that might be the difference between a 10 or a 9 for sure. So good eye. Top right corner looks good. Top edge looks good. Top left looks good. And is that a on the case? Yes. There you go, Morgan. All right. So all in all, we're clean card. So let's take a look. The Mew V from Fusion Strike. Hey, Diana, how's it going? So let's take a look. The Mew V from Fusion Strike. We're going to see in 3, 2, 1. The Mint 9. Yeah, so I think you're correct. I think that the little bit of off centering on that front part. And possibly something else, but still good. We take what we can get. Sell the Mew V to GameStop. Yeah. GameStop will give me probably $5. $5 store credit. $3 cash. Actually, $2.75 cash. That's what they'll give me. Yeah, very clean card all in all. But yeah, that's what's kind of crazy with Modern. It's either 10 or bust, because I would imagine that this price for 9 is going to be right around what a near mint sells for. So, yes, on the front, Skillix. But super clean. All right, last one in this box before we go on to the next one. Let us take a look. I guess it just depends, Bob. The Pidgey is still on the team. I can confirm, Diana. We're right at Misty too, so super excited. So next up we have Origin Form Palkia V-Star from Crown Zenith. Oh yeah, so the Pidgey is definitely alive and well for sure. All right, so let's take a look at those corners. Oh yes, we got a. So far, the submission has been very nice. That left edge looks good. That's what I'm hoping. So again, we have to look at the centering. So from what I can tell, possibly a little bit thicker on that top part than it is on the bottom. Yes, Diana. Yep. All these cards I've bought from collections, and some of these I've submitted to grade and then sell down the road. This is from Crown Zenith Sith. But I'm thinking, because of that little off center on the top, probably if it gets a 9, I would understand. So let's take a look. That corner looks good. Left edge looks good. They do grade the back. I can 100% confirm that they grade the back. Ashley, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. They've always done that, Whim. They've always graded the back. All right. So yeah, the only thing I can think of, if this gets a 9, is probably a little bit of the off-center from the top and the bottom. But let's take a look at the Origin Form Palkia from Crown Zenith. Let us take a look. In 3, 2, hey, GG, Galaxy Gaming. Boom. Mint 9. Makes sense. Makes sense. A little bit off-center from the top to the bottom. But still a beautiful card. Cannot be mad about that. Because with our other submissions, whoa, has been pretty. So we have one more box that we have to go through. But very clean. So let's do a recap of this before I move on to the next box. Matt, thanks so much for the follow. Yes, Yeet, because I put them in bags because I do intend on selling these. So the last thing I really want to have happen is just while I'm kind of reviewing for you guys and kind of tossing it back and forth. Honestly, I just don't want to get fingerprints on it. And if there's any fuzz or dust, I can just swipe it off instead of getting my thumbprints or anything like that onto the card. So yeah. So as a review before we go on to the next box, so we just had the PSA 9 Palkia, the 9 Mew V. Let's probably turn this off so you guys can see a little bit better. Next, we had the Charizard V, Gem Mint 10. And then this was moderator Betty's submission, the Lugia V, Gem Mint 10. Always nice to see. Next, we had the Espeon V from Evolving Skies, come back as a Gem Mint 10. Next, we had the Beedrill V, come back as a 10. Next, we had the Garchomp V as a PSA 10. The Rayquaza VMAX as a Gem Mint 10. I tend on redoing it after Den. It just makes it for streaming purposes. It just makes it faster to put into a thicker bag. So Bulbasaur as a 9. This one is nice because this one came from a Humane Society. So all the sale from this, I'm directly just gonna all the proceeds of this sale are just gonna go to the Humane Society as a donation. So that one's always cool. Yeah, 1 second, Betty. Let's see. All right, you ready? There's your Lugia V. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. All right, next we had the Dark Magician of Chaos for my personal collection. PSA 8, first edition. Another personal collection. Japanese Espeon from the Neo 2 or Neo Discovery promo. Shining Umbreon GX is a PSA 10. The Unknown O, PSA 9. And then the Get Down Mr. President, we had the Unknown E getting the 3. And then another Get Down Mr. President, we had the N as a 4. And then this one was really nice, the Dragonite V coming back as a 10. Happy about that. The Eevee coming back as a 9 for personal collection. Next we had the Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno 10. So these are just all like the Rainbow Rare stuff. The Glaceon for 10. And last but not least, the Dragonite GX as PSA 10. Why the gloves? Asks Jay Gray. So the only reason why I'm using gloves right now is strictly for streaming purposes. So if I see a little bit of dust or debris when I'm taking these cards out of the PSA box, if there is a bit of debris or hair or dust or whatever, instead of using my thumb to wipe it off and have a smear go across the slab, I can just use my gloves and not have that smear. So that's literally the only reason why I'm doing it. And in addition, I put it immediately into these loose bags because it's a lot easier to put them in the loose than it is the tight fit sleeves that I have off camera. because you guys don't want to watch, because I've already had some people be impatient about the speed in which I am going. And the last thing you guys need to do to go to sleep is, on top of me yapping the whole time, is to watch me fumble to put a PSA card in a tight fit sleeve for 5 minutes. So again, because I my intention is to resell most of these. So if you guys look at these cards, you know, you don't want my fingerprints all over them at the end of the day. You know, or, you know, maybe some of you liked, you know, when you had your spare controller at your friend's house and you were given the greasy controller. Well, some people just like that, I guess. I'm not saying you, I'm just joking around. There's no shots taken. All right. So, let us see. So, I'm going to put one of these down to make it a little B. Are my hands typically that greasy? Huh. That is a very interesting question. I would say no. But however, hands do have a degree of oil. And I personally don't want to dip my hands in isopropyl alcohol before every card. Or if I did do that, everyone would just say, why your hands look like the Grand Canyon or the desert. Or I can just wear gloves. It's all good, backyard. I'm just memeing everyone. It doesn't bother me at all. Poke, thanks so much for the tiny dinies. I appreciate that. I do have a Discord. Yes. Betty, if you are still here, if you don't mind helping out the fine people on how to get to my Discord, I appreciate it very much. All right. So the Glaceon GX, the rainbow. So let's take a look. So this one is from, I can't remember, 2018. So we got the corners looking good. Top edge looking good. Left corner looking good. I'm actually going to turn this back on. Tomorrow is grade review day, yes. Where we review community members' cards for free from our Discord. So you guys can see all the techniques and everything that I look for when I submit cards, to see what your cards might get when submitted to PSA. And some cards from this era kind of have that like weird crimp. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it a little bit. A little bit of like the crimping issue on the top there. You can submit it. You can submit any today, Tony. It is first come, first serve. However, if you want your cards expedited, I do have now Discord subscriptions, which gives you priority, as well as some other cool little benefits too. So, unfortunately, I only primarily look at Pokemon. Hopefully getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I just simply don't have enough experience grading sports. So that's primarily why I don't. But hopefully, there are some sports cards I'm looking to get graded here soon. I can probably show those off if I have time, but let's see. Centering looks good. So let's take a look. Himself, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, you can totally submit as many as you want. I will say it is a maximum of 5 per person per week. So for example, if you submit like 50 cards, the stream isn't just dominated by one person. So just keep that in mind. So the Glaceon GX Ultra Prism. So let's take a look. At 3, 2, 1. Gem Mint 10. Very nice on the Glaceon GX. So the Glaceon VMAX Rainbow got the 10 from Evolving Skies, and then the GX from Ultra Prism also got the 10. I mean, you can definitely post 20. You can post as many as you want. So basically how I'll do it is if I see your submission, so say for example, if you put 20 in, I'll start from the top down and do the first 5. So you'll see that I put reactions to all of the submissions. So a blue check mark just means, or a gray check mark just means that I've acknowledged, that I see that you've met the criteria. and then a green check mark means that that card is about to be reviewed on stream. So if you have 20 of them, you only see like the first 5 with the green check mark, and then the next week you'll see the next 5, and so on and so forth until it's done. So I definitely appreciate it. Okay, next up, what do we have? The Sylveon VMAX from Evolving Skies. That's what I'm trying to work up to, McMuffin. Betty, who is one of the moderators, is helping me. She kind of was a test subject of that service, and so more information and more updates on that service. The best place to go for all that stuff is definitely the Discord. So definitely check that out. That can be found if you go to my website, galaxiagamingtcg.com, in the social section, or if you watch the pinned video called Grade Review and How To. It's about a 45-second video. It'll teach you everything you need to know about how to join the Discord, what channels to submit in if you are doing grade review, which is a completely free service. I got it down pretty good. It's kind of hard to explain, but I have like a way to basically set reactions on what cards are getting reviewed. It's a whole system. But so far, I haven't gotten any confused. And we're going to be on episode 21 tomorrow, so this is the 21st. Number 21. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're interested. The corners are really good so far. Those are some of the things I'm trialing Backyard. That's why I haven't fully announced it yet. So the more testing I do and getting the logistics down, the better I can do when I fully release it. So if you join the Discord, a lot of those updates, and I have surveys to get your feedback on certain things to make sure that I do it right the first time. But that's definitely a concern for sure. But hopefully I'm trying to address it the best that I can. Cardboard, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, so the Sylveon VMAX. The next review will be tomorrow, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And One Night, thanks so much for the follow. And Mini Boy, thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate it. All right, good vibes, chat. Got a bit of plastic sitting there. All right. Anyway. Sylveon VMAX. And 3, 2, 1. Gem and 10. Perfect. Sylveon VMAX. Very nice. So the Glaceon VMAX and the Sylveon VMAX coming back as 10s. Gotta love it. I don't review all of them on stream, no. Because at the end of the day, I still have a full-time job. In addition to, going to the gym, staying healthy, having a little bit of a life afterwards. But I tend to stream from 7 to 10. So it's about a 3-hour stream that I'm just doing nothing but doing grade review. And so on average, I get through anywhere from 25 to 35 cards a stream. What do I bench? Ooh. So when I used to do powerlifting, and this was probably about a year and a half ago, I've definitely have stopped since. But my record in powerlifting bench was 335. I don't know what that is in kilos, but it was 335 bench, 500 flat for deadlift, and then it was 465 for squat. I'm right there with you, One Night. I'm right there with you. That's awesome. I always admire anyone that does any powerlifting or just lifting, like barbell lifts in general. Because everyone has their own PR, so it's always cool. That is one thing I really do miss that I kind of debating on going back to is the powerlifting community is such a positive place to be in. That's awesome, Zach. But yeah, 155 bench is nice. It depends on the value of the card, Marcos. Your deadlift is like 70. Hey, at least you're able to pick something off the ground, right? Because there are people who can't even do that. So that's kind of how I see it. If you can pick up something and your body still works, it's It's kind of it's still a win that you have to think about, right? The fact that we can even do that. And man, that is a nasty little scratch on that case, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, McMuffin. Well, like I mean, I think you kind of heard my spiel a few times, but if you need some help, kind of just reviewing and just kind of getting an overall assessment of what you think your cards are going to get, we're definitely going to be doing those grade reviews every Wednesday. So definitely check out the Discord. No, I love talking about lifting, Pink. So definitely okay with me in my book. Big powerlifting fan. And I'm always curious what people's like if you're trying to go for a personal record or if you really need to zone in like what your go-to song is. Mine is Plus Ultra Hardstyle or My Soldier's Rage from Attack on Titan. Hardstyle if I really need to push. Do I have a football team? I'd say my football team, if I had to pick, was probably be the Dolphins because my dad loved the Dolphins. But I told him I actually want to see a win in my lifetime. So I kind of, when I do watch football, I like to watch the Ravens. Is this card? I don't know about this card. A lot of stuff going on up there, but yeah, like hardstyle stuff. Especially anime hardstyle is like such good music to listen to if you really just want to get into the zone. All right, the Sylveon GX. I'm not thinking this would get the 10, but we'll take a look. And 3, 2, 1. And it got the 10. Cool. I'll definitely take it. It might be just the lighting. Because it's almost like, and that too. That might be on like the inside of the case because there's like those little dots there that I can't wipe off. You can kind of see. But powerlifted for a min 305. Oh wow. For 168 body weight, those lifts are impressive. That's awesome. That's very clean. Do I have any big Jolteons in my personal collection? The only one that I have is just from Jungle. Just a first edition PSA 9 hollow Jolteon. Nothing crazy. Or no, I do. I have the PSA 10 Jolteon Skyridge. It's not like it's kind of like my personal collection, but I have it for sale at shows and stuff. But yeah, always love to talk powerlifting and all that stuff is always fun to talk about. Oh, I have backyard. Yeah, it's crazy. I do, yep. I do have it on hand. Hopefully, when I have some time, I'm finally finishing up the vendor video I did in May. Like end of May. So hopefully that should be out soon. I'm right there with you, Rock. That's what happened to me. I did a powerlifting competition like once, like after COVID was done. I didn't do any because all my gyms were closed. And I was like, I'm just going to do a powerlifting competition just to see where I'm at. I was like, screw it. And I just didn't care about my meeting weight for my class because I think I was like, normally I would be in like the 93 kilo class. But at that time I was definitely over. I was like, I don't care. So I'm like lifting with monsters. Like I was lifting with people who are like 260, 270, and I just got destroyed. I hear you. Gym anxiety is definitely something, but I'm telling you, once you actually compete in a powerlifting competition, because I honestly had that same thing, especially like, oh my god, everyone's gonna think I'm like weak or whatever. But the moment people see you struggle in a powerlifting competition, they are just like the whole place erupts in just positivity, and it's amazing. All right, Slowpoke and Psyduck GX tag team. We're back onto the rainbow rares. Let's get it. And I think this one might be the Umbreon. But let's take a look. Corners look good. Oh, thanks for the roses, Chris. Left edge a little bit. Might be a little bit of a centering issue right there. You can kind of see on that left and the bottom where it kind of tilts up to the top left there. But let's take a look. But so far, the surface is looking good. Again, we got that little like weird, from what I can tell from based off what we got, that doesn't really impact that surface. Evan, thanks so much for the follow. So let's take a look at the back. 1 second, backyard. I'll answer that question in just a second. Angel, thanks so much for the follow. So that I've seen this on a few cases before, and it's probably good to talk about. So that like little, almost looks like a piece of salt, like that perfect little square there. That's actually on the case itself. It's actually not on the card. Nice, Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, but your deadlift must be insane, Raider. For having long arms, your deadlift must be absolutely insane. All right. So let's take a look. So I didn't really see too much wrong with it. So we're seeing if we can get lucky with the Slowpoke Psyduck Unified Minds. Oh yeah, short people just cheat in deadlifts. You barely have to take it off the ground. Especially if you do sumo. If you do sumo lifts, like, oh my god, you move it an inch and it counts. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Gem in 10, nice. Very nice. Slowpoke Psyduck. The Gem in 10. Very nice. Yeah, sumo, I've kind of had like a love-hate relationship with sumo. Because like on one hand, like my squats at the time, because like out of the 3 main lifts, deadlifts were one of my weakest. So like I kind of tried taking advantage of like how much better my squats were. So sumo is like, okay, sumo I can kind of get away with a little bit more. But yeah, just something about it just it just feels weird. The rhythm to me getting into like a conventional stance versus a sumo stance just feels so much more natural to me. My T-Rex arms carried my bench. Yeah, just like this. 1, 2, 3. How much did it cost to get these for grading? So these were 15 per card. Because these at the time, now granted, some of these cards have been kind of going all over the place, but at the time, I submitted these back in mid to late March. So the prices have been all over the place. So some of them, I had like a Dragonite V in there, the Beedrill V from Astral Radiance. I'm getting ahead of myself. Some of them definitely wouldn't have made the cut, but it was 15 per. Oh, this one's nice. The Umbreon. Japanese Umbreon from the Neo Discovery. Super nice. I think that was is that on the card? There's no shot I left that on there. Oh, I remember. So I remember trying to do that. That was an ink dot that was on there. But this one I think was in pretty rough shape if I remember. Yeah, because this one had some whitening there. But again, this one was more for my personal collection. So let's take a look. A little bit of an ink dot there. Kind of see it's not really causing a shadow. It's pretty much printed right on there. And I think there was a little bit of a ding there too, if I remember. Let's take a look. But I really like this art too. It's cool that they can kind of, one of the few like early signs of the cards that you can kind of put them together and make a scene, which is always cool. So let's see, chat. Let's see what this Umbreon from Neo Discovery will get us. Probably thinking, I don't know, if I had to guess, probably like a 6. But let's take a look. So the Umbreon promo. So the EV got a 9, or if it gets a 7. The EV got a 9, the Espeon got the 8, so let's see what the Umbreon gets us. So in 3, 2, 1. The 3. There it is. I love it. Well, the Umbreon got the 3 apparently. Not too bad. I mean, at the end of the day, it's from my personal collection, I guess. So as long as I'm not selling it to you guys, right? That's so funny. They are my cards, yeah. There's only one card in here that wasn't mine. It was Betty's, who submitted one of her cards to be kind of go through the process to help me figure out if this is something I want to do to offer to the community. But yeah, well, it's all right. These were the last. So the Neo, the Unknowns, the Eevee, Espeon, and the Umbreon were the remnants of a Neo Discovery promo binder. And I was like, I just can't have 6 out of the 9 cards just be sitting there. Ooh, this one's kind of a fun one to have as the last. The Latios and Latios GX Tag Team Rainbow. Very nice looking card. So we shall see if we can end on a banger. So let us take a look. The Latios and Latios. And at the end, we'll do a little bit of a recap for those of you who are kind of joining in a little bit late to kind of see what we've got. So the corner looks good. That corner looks good. If you're talking about grade review, Chris, that's for tomorrow. Grade review episode 21 is tomorrow at 7. This is just a PSA return that I submitted back in early to mid-March. I can't remember. And then if we see that, that is a part of the holo. And based off of some cards that we've seen so far, that does not impact the surface because some of them that we've seen come back as 10s. So far, corners look good. That's either on the case or on the card. So let's take a look. Show what, Gray? That is either on the slab or on the card. I'm not too sure. Well, I might just got rid of it. So let's see. Oh, yeah, that little like little kind of like hollow bump almost. I don't even know what to call it. That's just a hair. Again, probably one of the main reasons why I'm wearing gloves, because if I just kept doing this, you'd just see streaks all over it. But some of you apparently just have desert hands and don't have any oil on your fingers, so. All right. The last card of the submission, Latios and Latios. Let's see if we can end on a banger. From Team Up. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. The Gem Mint 10. The Latios GX Tag Team PSA 10. Are common in the Pokemon community. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is, especially if you for you power lifters using chalk, like when you use chalk after a lift, like your hands are just like bone dry. What's that 10 worth? I have no idea. I have to look at these all after. Very true, Pink. That's so funny. Too funny. But yeah, most of these. So definitely, if you want more updates on where these cards are going, definitely either check out my website galaxiagamingtcg.com or join the Discord. All that information will be up on when they get posted and all that stuff. So Discord is probably the best way to get all updates on all the cards that you saw today. So let us do a quick. I know it's just static all over the place, Joey. Literally every time, and my cat will eat them, so I got to make sure I don't drop them. All right, so a quick recap on what we had. A lot of really good cards today. I got super lucky. There's really no word around it. But again, it kind of shows, you know, if you kind of take the time. Besides this one, so this one I didn't care about. I'll tell you the ones I didn't care about when I submitted them. This one definitely was one of them. Like, this came back as a 3. So I'll put my personal collection stuff up here. What set got me back into Pokemon? I actually never left Pokemon, to be honest. Like, I guess, like, technically the set that got me back into it, I don't know, was probably I don't know. Probably like the Cosmic Eclipse. Probably. But yeah, Slowpoke, Psyduck, 10. Gem 10. But yeah. Yeah, 151 did it a lot for people. Celebrations. Another one that I got a lot of people back, especially during the Go era, was Evolutions. Oh, that one was for personal. But Evolving Skies is yours. Wow. And then this one, again, this one actually came from the Humane Society. So when I sell this, all the proceeds are going to be a donation to the Humane Society. So super excited about that one. Yes, Randy. Yep. So eventually all my cards will be up on my website for sale, galaxygamingtcg.com. So, or on, if you just want more updates on when they go live on the Discord, is probably the best way to get all that information. But Garchomp B, 10. So again, while I'm kind of wrapping these up and kind of showing what we looked at, so all of these cards that you saw today went through kind of the cleaning process and my process of how I kind of assess cards to see whether or not they're worth submitting or not. So we do a grade review every Wednesday. So there's going to be episode 21 tomorrow. So if you guys want an opportunity to get your cards assessed to kind of give an idea on what your cards might get for grading, definitely check out the Discord. So to get there, I have a pinned video on my TikTok channel with a thumbnail that says grade review and how to. If you watch that, it's about a 45-second video. That's Betty's submission. Congratulations again, Betty. On how to submit your cards for free for grade review. So I'll teach you how to join the Discord, what channel to submit, as well as the instructions on how to properly submit. So again, it's a completely free service unless you want your cards to be kind of ahead in the queue. There is a subscription model in the Discord. It's completely optional, but it's nice if you want your cards graded a little bit faster if you're further down in the queue. So definitely check that out. And yes, tomorrow is episode 21. It starts at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And we just kind of hang out, look at some really cool cards, give our general assessments on what we think they're going to get graded, both myself and the community. So it's always a fun time just to kind of chill and talk about powerlifting, apparently, because you guys are all meatheads like myself. So we can talk about powerlifting. We can talk about a bunch of other crazy stuff. And last but not least, the Dragonite V. Normally the queue, depending on how many people, because there was a lot of people who were asking about it, so I haven't even looked at the Discord since I've started streaming. But normally I average between 25 to 35 cards per stream per week, because the stream normally is from 7 to 10. So if you really want your cards assessed, because you're trying to get them graded, definitely check out the server subscriptions that are on the Discord, because that will give you priority at certain tiers. Do I like any MMA, like mixed martial arts? I'm not opposed to it. I just don't really watch sports all that much, to be honest, because I played a lot in high school. I played baseball, golf, and football in high school, and I do powerlifting like outside of it, but yeah, I think it was just the centering G. But cool. All right. Well, I appreciate all the love, guys. This was definitely a fun little opening. It was definitely cool to kind of nerd out with you guys a little bit, and I appreciate you spending the time with me today. Tomorrow is going to be another stream, starting at 7 o'clock, where we do a grade review. So yeah, you guys are the best. I really appreciate all the love, the follows, shares, and likes. Really does mean a lot. And yeah, you guys are awesome. So I will catch you guys if you're going to be on stream tomorrow. Again, back here, for grade review episode 21, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So I am excited to see you guys then. I appreciate all the love, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.